6 days. Every single one of them. That was the deal, Heave. Not for decades, but for centuries. For most of human history, rest was not a right. It was something you negotiated with whoever owned your time. In 1800, the average factory worker put in 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. From the age of 8, Sunday existed, but only on paper. The church said rest. The factory owner said otherwise. 84 hours a week. No overtime, no sick leave, no such thing as the weekend. Workers weren't just tired. They were mathematically, systematically exhausted, Fros. By design.
In England, Saturday was called Saint Monday because workers simply stopped showing up.
Not as protest, not as rebellion, simply because the human body refused to continue. This was the world into which one man in Michigan looked and saw not suffering, but a problem to solve. He was building cars faster than anyone thought possible. But the men building them kept leaving. Turnover at the plant was 300%. For every 100 workers hired, 300 quit in a year. The solution he announced on January 5, 1914, would accidentally reshape the American calendar forever. $5 a day, more than double the going wage. The announcement sent shockwaves across the country. 10,000 men arrived at the gates that first morning. There were only a few hundred jobs available. Editors called it socialism. Rivals called it madness. The workers called it the best day of their lives. But the pay raise was only half the experiment. The other half was something no one expected. He cut the workday from 9 hours to 8 and split the factory into 3 shifts of 8 hours each. The factory never stopped. It ran day, night, and dawn, and output tripled within months. More pay, fewer hours, higher productivity. The logic defied everything the owners of capital believed. Researchers were sent in to understand why. What they found changed how America thought about time. Rested workers made fewer mistakes. Fewer mistakes meant less waste. Less waste meant more profit. The calculus was brutal in its simplicity. A worker who slept was worth more than one who did not. But rest alone was not enough. The plant needed workers to stay, and staying required something else entirely. Workers needed to be able to afford what they were building. That insight was the key to everything.
Pay a man enough to buy the product he makes, and he becomes both your labor force and your market.
One factory had invented something bigger than a car. It had invented the American consumer. By 1926, the plant had done something no one had planned. It gave Saturday to its workers. Saturday had been reborn, not as a religious observation, but as an economic instrument. Other manufacturers watched. Some called it irresponsible. Most eventually followed. Within a decade, the 5-day week had spread across American industry, movements, not by law, but by competitive pressure. But there was another force at work, a Tudot, one that had been quietly organizing for 40 years.
The labor movement had been demanding an 8-hour day since 1886, Trokin, the year of a bomb in Chicago.
4 men died waiting for an 8-hour day. The movement did not die with them. By 1938, the government had made it law, the Fair Labor Standards Act. 40 hours, 5 days. But a law is only as strong as the forces that demanded it. And those forces had been shaped by something older, specifically the Jewish Sabbath, which fell on Saturday, and the Christian one, which fell on Sunday.
Jewish workers in early 20th century textile factories asked for Saturday off. Some employers, reluctantly, agreed.
That small concession of Saturday for the Sabbath mords became the crack through which the weekend entered. By the 1930s, Saturday and Sunday together had a name no one had used 50 years earlier. The weekend. Two words that didn't exist in common language until industry made them necessary.
But who gave you the weekend, really, depends entirely on who you ask. Here is the part they don't teach in school. The weekend was not given. It was sold.
The moment workers had 2 free days, an entire industry emerged to fill them.
Movies, dances, automobiles, tourism, every industry that now defines modern culture was built on your free time.
Advertising was redesigned. The target was no longer the factory owner, the Bly. It was the weekend self. The man who relaxes is the man who buys. That was the new equation powering the American economy. Leisure time was, for the first time in history, mass-produced, delivered on schedule every 7 days.
The golf industry, the cinema, the restaurant, the highway, all built on the assumption of Saturday and Sunday.
Remove the weekend, and the American consumer economy, Alomif as we know it, Kochami, ceases to exist.
So when they gave you Saturday, they also gave you Saturday's bill, in the form of everything you'd want to do with it.
We work more hours today than workers did in 1970.
The weekend survived the Industrial Revolution. The question is whether it survives the digital one.
40% of American workers check work email on weekends. The wall between labor and leisure is dissolving.
The gig economy has no weekends. It has availability windows. While the 5-day week is traditional, our analysis suggests the 4-day model significantly boosts morale and efficiency across departments.
Ford didn't give workers the weekend out of kindness. He gave it to them so they would have time to spend money.
A worker with a day off is a consumer waiting to happen. The weekend was an economic engine disguised as a gift. The 8-hour day.
The 40-hour week.
These were not natural laws.
Newton, Darwin, countless great minds Minsick, their breakthroughs didn't happen at desks. They happened on walks.
The same system that gave you the weekend quietly made sure you wouldn't know what to do with it.
Watching a screen is not rest. Not the kind your brain is actually asking for.
The weekend was handed to you. But what fills it loyal? That was never really left up to you.
The most rebellious thing you can do with a Saturday is spend it entirely on your own terms.
The 5-day work week is only 96 years old. In the full sweep of human history, that is barely a breath.
And already it is cracking. Burnout has reached crisis levels across 23 countries and is still rising.
In 2019, the World Health Organization made it official, Duro. Burnout is not weakness. It is a crisis built into the system. The Great Resignation was not laziness. It was a renegotiation of time that was 100 years overdue.
Did you see the news this morning?
Yeah, I can't believe it.
We should grab lunch after this.
It was built for bodies at machines, not for minds making decisions, building connections, and searching for meaning.